Welcome to My Thailand Stories. This one will leave you speechless. A dental technician with 30 years of experience, £80,000 in savings, a fake clinic in Phuket with real equipment, real procedures, and actors playing patients. He inspected everything. He knew what to look for, and he never saw it coming. Here's his story. I'm James. I'm 52, and I stood in an empty room on the second floor of a medical building in Patong. Bare walls, bare floors, no equipment, no furniture, nothing. 3 weeks ago, this was a fully operational dental clinic. I'd inspected every piece of equipment. I'd watched procedures. I'd reviewed financial records. I'd signed a partnership agreement and transferred £75,000. Now it was just an empty room, and Achara wasn't answering her phone. Let me tell you how I got here. I'm from Bristol. I've been a dental technician for 30 years. That's my entire adult life, making crowns, bridges, dentures in laboratories. I got good at it. Really good. I understood the business inside and out. By early 2024, I'd saved £80,000. 30 years of careful saving. I wanted to invest in a dental practice, but in the UK that cost £300,000 or more. I kept thinking there had to be another way. I'd been hearing about dental tourism in Thailand. Foreigners flying to Bangkok and Phuket for dental work because it cost a fraction of UK prices. The quality was supposedly excellent. I started researching, and it made sense. If I could partner with a Thai dental clinic, I could finally own part of a practice. In March 2024, I took 3 weeks off and flew to Phuket, checked into a hotel in Patong, started visiting clinics. I wanted to see operations firsthand. I visited about 10 clinics over the first week. Most were impressive. Modern equipment, clean facilities, professional staff. I was taking notes, asking questions, evaluating everything with 30 years of experience. One afternoon I was having lunch at a restaurant near Patong Beach. Thai woman at the next table, maybe late 30s, wearing scrubs, blue ones, hair pulled back. She was looking at dental x-rays on a tablet, making notes. I couldn't help but glance over. Professional habit. She caught me looking and smiled. She said, "You work in dentistry?" Her English was excellent, almost no accent. I laughed. Said, "Yeah, guilty. Been a dental technician for 30 years. She said she could tell. Most people wouldn't recognise periapical x-rays at a glance. Her name was Akara. We started talking, right there over lunch, about dentistry, about the industry, about the differences between UK and Thai practices. She knew her stuff, really knew it. She understood materials, procedures, the technical side of things. I was impressed immediately. She said she was a dentist, co-owned a clinic in Patong with her brother. She'd studied at Mahidol University in Bangkok, worked in Singapore for a few years before coming back to Phuket to start her own practice. I told her about my background, about wanting to invest in a dental practice, about how expensive it was in the UK, about looking for opportunities in Thailand. Her eyes lit up. She said that was interesting. She said her biggest challenge was capacity. She and her brother owned the clinic, but they could only treat so many patients per day, which meant they had to turn away business, especially during high season when medical tourists flooded Phuket. She said if they had a partner with technical expertise and capital, they could expand, hire additional dentists, add treatment rooms, handle more patients. Someone with my background could be valuable. I was immediately interested, and she seemed genuine. Not a businesswoman trying to sell me something. A dentist explaining real operational challenges. She said if I was serious about exploring it, I should come see the clinic, see the operation. No pressure, just if I was interested. I said I was very interested. The next morning, Achara picked me up from my hotel in a silver Honda. She was wearing casual clothes, jeans and a white blouse, different from the scrubs. She drove to a modern medical building. The clinic was on the second floor. When we entered, I was immediately impressed. Clean reception area, comfortable seating, brochures in multiple languages, professional-looking setup. Achara introduced me to the receptionist as a colleague visiting from the UK. She gave me a tour. 4 treatment rooms with modern dental chairs, lights, instruments. Everything looked new and well-maintained. Sterilisation area with autoclaves and proper infection control. Digital X-ray equipment, Intraoral cameras. As someone who'd worked in dentistry for 30 years, I could tell this was legitimate. Or so I thought. She showed me the appointment calendar, full for the next 2 weeks. They saw 15 to 20 international patients per week. She showed me patient files, treatment plans, payment records. Everything looked organised. I asked about her qualifications. She showed me her dental degree from Mahidol, license from the Thai Dental Council, certificates from continuing education courses. Everything appeared legitimate. I asked if I could watch her work. She said she had a patient that afternoon. I was welcome to observe. That afternoon, I watched Achara treat a British couple. The husband needed a crown. She was professional, thorough, skilled, proper techniques. The patient seemed comfortable. After the appointment, they paid in cash and booked their next appointment. They said they were very happy with the quality. I felt confident. This was real. Over the next few days, Achara and I spent more time together. We had coffee, dinner one evening, small Thai restaurant near the beach, outdoor seating, fairy lights. We talked for hours, not just about dentistry, about life. She told me about studying in Bangkok, about working in Singapore, about coming back to Thailand to build something of her own, about loving the work but sometimes feeling lonely in Phuket's transient expat scene. I told her about my life in Bristol, about working in the same laboratory for years, about dreaming of owning a practice, about feeling like time was running out. She reached across the table and took my hand. She said, "You know what I like about you? You understand. Most people don't get what we do. They think it's just teeth. But you know it's art, it's precision, it's craft." I kissed her that night, in the parking lot next to her car, with the sound of the ocean in the distance. She kissed me back. Over the next week, our relationship deepened. We spent evenings together, sometimes at her apartment, a small place near the beach with a balcony overlooking the water. We'd sit there drinking wine, talking about the clinic, about expanding, about me maybe staying in Thailand, maybe joining permanently. She said she was falling for me. I said I was falling for her too. Meanwhile, I kept visiting the clinic, watched various procedures, talked with patients from Australia, Germany, the UK. Everyone seemed satisfied. I reviewed financial records. Revenue was strong. 800,000 to 1 million baht per month, 18,000 to 23,000 pounds. Profit margin around 40%. Excellent numbers. Achara explained she was limited by capacity. She could only treat so many patients per day. If she had a partner to help expand, hire additional dentists, improve marketing, they could double or triple revenue. She proposed 40% ownership for 3.2 million baht, roughly £75,000. That capital would hire another dentist, purchase equipment for a 5th treatment room, fund marketing. I was interested but cautious. I told Achara I needed everything verified by a lawyer. She said absolutely. Very professional response. She recommended a lawyer named Prazert who specialised in business partnerships with foreigners. I was initially hesitant about using a lawyer recommended by Achara, but Prazert had good reviews online. Professional office. I decided to meet with him. Prazert explained how foreign investment worked in Thai medical practices. 40% ownership was within legal limits. His fee was 65,000 baht, about £1,500. I hired him to conduct due diligence. 2 weeks later, Prazert confirmed everything. Clinic properly registered. Achara's license valid. Necessary permits in place. Everything appeared legitimate. I reviewed the partnership agreement. My 40% ownership. Profit distribution. Access to financial records. Everything seemed reasonable. I signed. Achara signed. Her brother Wichai signed too. I'd met him, briefly. Quiet guy. 40s, didn't say much. Just nodded and signed. Pursuit witnessed the signatures. I transferred £75,000 from my UK account. 3.2 million baht. Transfer took a few days. Achara confirmed a receipt. Hugged me. Kissed me. Said we were building something amazing together. Not just the clinic, but us. I was thrilled. 30 years of work finally paying off. I was part owner of a dental clinic. And I had Achara. I extended my stay and spent 2 weeks working with her. We discussed hiring another dentist, purchasing equipment, marketing strategies. She introduced me to staff. Everyone seemed welcoming. She said the first major purchase would be a new dental chair and equipment. Already identified a supplier. Equipment would arrive within 3 weeks. She was interviewing dentist candidates. I returned to the UK in early May feeling excited. Achara and I stayed in contact constantly. Video calls, messages. She sent photos of new equipment being installed. Updates on patient bookings. Personal messages saying she missed me. I missed her too. In early June, Achara said the new dentist had started. 5th treatment room was operational. Patient volume increasing. First profit distribution would be ready end of the month. I was thrilled. Then in late June, I received an email from an Australian patient. She found my contact on LinkedIn, where I'd mentioned my partnership. She said she'd had complications from implant surgery at the clinic. Achara wasn't responding. The clinic was closed. Closed. I immediately contacted Achara. No response. I tried calling. Phone went straight to voicemail. Tried again. Same result. I sent messages online. Nothing. That's when everything fell apart. I booked an emergency flight to Phuket. Arrived 2 days later. Went straight to the medical building. Took the elevator to the 2nd floor. When I got to where the clinic had been, the space was empty. Completely empty. No furniture, no equipment, no people. Just bare walls and floors. I stood there staring at the empty room, unable to process. All those treatment rooms. All that equipment. All those conversations with Achara about expanding. About the future. About us. Gone. Like it never existed. I went down to building management. Property manager checked records, said tenant had been on short-term lease, vacated about 3 weeks ago, paid rent up to date, left without issues. No forwarding information. Short-term lease. That detail hit like a punch to stomach. I went to Achara's apartment building near the beach, the place where we'd sat on the balcony, drinking wine, talking about the future. The security guard said no one by that name lived there. I showed him photos of us together on my phone. He shook his head. Didn't recognise her. She'd probably rented that apartment short-term too. Just for the scam. Just for me. I went to the police station. Tried to report what had happened. The officer who spoke English took down my information. Reviewed the documents, the partnership agreements, bank transfer receipts. Everything. He said this type of fraud was increasingly common in Phuket. Scammers would set up fake dental clinics, rent professional office space, hire actors to play patients, target foreigners with dental backgrounds. He said recovering the money would be extremely difficult. They'd investigate. But he was brutally honest. The chances were very low. He gave me a police report number, said I should contact the British Embassy. I spent another week in Phuket trying to find any trace of Achara or Wichai, searched online. Found nothing. Checked with the Thai Dental Council. No record of her. I flew back to Bristol completely devastated. £75,000. Most of my savings. Money I'd accumulated over 30 years. Gone. But worse than the money was Achara. I'd fallen for her. Not just as a business partner. As a woman. As someone who understood dentistry like I did. Who spoke my language. Who made me feel understood. And it had all been a lie. Every coffee. Every dinner. Every evening on a balcony talking about the future. Every procedure I watched her perform. Every kiss. Every moment. It had been calculated. Planned. Part of the scam. She'd used my expertise. My passion for dentistry. My loneliness. My dream of owning a practice. And she'd weaponised all of it. It's been over a year now. I'm still working as a dental technician in Bristol. I've saved about £7,000. But it feels meaningless compared to what I lost. At 53, I'll never rebuild what took 30 years to accumulate. The dream of owning a practice is gone forever. I'll be working in laboratories for someone else until I can no longer do the work. The financial loss has been crushing, but the damage to my professional identity has been worse. Being a dental technician isn't just my job. It's who I am. 3 decades mastering my craft, understanding every aspect of dentistry, building expertise I thought would protect me. But when it mattered most, I saw nothing. I inspected equipment and thought it was legitimate, observed procedures and thought they were genuine, reviewed credentials and thought they were real, trusted my professional judgment completely, and it failed me utterly. And I fell for a woman who was playing a role, who knew exactly what to say to make me trust her professional judgment, who made me believe we had something real. So I'd invest everything. £75,000. That's what it cost me to learn that the woman who understood precision and craftsmanship, who kissed me and talked about building a future together, was a professional con artist who knew exactly how to make an expert believe he couldn't be fooled. That's my story. I handed over my entire savings to a woman I loved and a clinic that never really existed. Hope sharing this prevents someone else from doing the same. Thanks for sharing, James. 30 years of dental expertise. He inspected the equipment, watched the procedures, verified the credentials, and fell for the dentist who spoke his language perfectly. The clinic was rented, the patients were actors, and Achara made him fall in love so he'd never question any of it. This is my Thailand stories. Stay sharp out there.